Hey everybody, it's Sarah and welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you for spending a portion of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up at Mile High Church for you and your family. Join us for our Aging Wisely and Well workshop today at 11:30, hosted by the Mile High Church Foundation. A panel of experts from our congregation will share unique insights and lead a conversation on aging. And there will be aging snacks. Cheese! Just kidding, there won't be any cheese. And renowned grief counselor and death educator, Dr. Alan Wolfelt, will be here in April. He will help us understand our grief, along with a workshop about the art of companioning the mourner. Buy your ticket today.
Hey, I want to tell everyone about two awesome things that happen every Wednesday. One, for online folks, Mile High Insight. It's just a few minutes of a sharing from a Mile High minister, followed by some prayer and meditation that releases every Wednesday morning. And then back on campus every Wednesday starting at 6:40 p.m., midweek renewal. It's an evening of spiritual practice that includes a minister message, music, meditation, prayer, forgiveness, ritual, community, and cookies. Hope to see you there.
For more information about anything you've heard today, visit the Event Center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org. Don't forget the cheese.
Good morning, friends. Stand if you are able. Let's sing and dance together. Here we go. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Sing, love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Let's sing. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. Feel that sweet release. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Yeah, I start my day with love.
What a gift to start our day with Laura Berman this morning. Laura, so great to have you with us. Randy, Bijou, Mike hiding behind the drums there, huh? Rob Lowe, our band director. 'Cause I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release of peace. I Welcome to Mile High Church. So grateful for everyone watching us online, everyone here in our sanctuary. Aren't we grateful to our facilities team? Those are here for scooping up all that snow for us so it feels like a spring morning here. Welcome to Mile High Church. We are people that come together every week to recommit ourselves to courageous spiritual living. What that means is that any area in our lives where we experience divisiveness, we bring a consciousness of unity. Any area of ourselves that feels broken, we bring a consciousness of healing. Every area of our lives that calls with a challenge, we show up with resilience. And I'm always awed by looking around at the incredible people in our community. Some of the most amazing, hardworking, loving people that you will ever meet in your life. And it reminds us all that we do not walk alone on this courageous spiritual path. So thank you for walking your path with me. I'm so grateful to walk perhaps a little bit of yours with you. We have a vision and a mission we love to recite each week. It's coming up on the screens, and it goes like this. Our vision, oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. I love the phrase, be transparent to the transcendent. Be transparent to the transcendent. That's an opportunity we have right here, right now, as we move into our shared spiritual practice of song, of silence, and prayer. To be transparent to whatever is within us, and to know even if it doesn't feel good, at the heart of it there is a divine purpose, a divine knowing, a divine inspiration ready to reveal itself to you and to me right now.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the
we take this moment to gather together in this garden of stillness. Each breath drawing us deeper within into the sacred heart, which is connected to the one God, one Spirit. And so we breathe into that eternal presence of love that is here right now. And in this moment, as we deepen into that vibration of God, that vibration of Spirit, I know and feel it is the very vibration at the center of our beingness. And so we connect with that now. And in this moment, I know that as we move through our time together, it is a time where every word that is spoken, every note that is sung, draws us deeper into that awareness of the divine within us. And so if there is anything like doubt or fear or worry, perhaps a sense of lack or scarcity, anything that is unlike that vibration of love this morning, we simply let it go and we place it into this current, this vibration of Spirit as we open our hearts even more. And we embrace that essence of gentleness and compassion, knowing that in our connection, we send those vibrations out into the world so that we can send and feel that the very essence of peace is circulating all around the world. It is holding all of those who may be suffering or in pain today. And we send this vibration of love and healing energy to Pope Francis and to anyone else who is experiencing a condition of dis-ease or disharmony. We just send love. And so it is with such deep gratitude that I say thank you for this opportunity to expand in joy, to expand in the very consciousness of that divine spark within, and to expand in a deeper sense of connection and acceptance of our very own hearts, our very own self. And so it's with that gratitude I release this prayer into that great law that is love in action, letting it be so. And so it is.
Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you serve and remember? Love, serve and remember. Oh, love, love, love. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Oh,
Our words of inspiration today come from Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. It may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can come out of it. And from Mariah Mountain Dreamer, living a life of fulfillment that offers something of value to the world starts with radical self-knowledge, self-awareness, and self-acceptance. Our task is to be who we are at the deepest level of our being.
When it rains, it pours, but you didn't even notice. It ain't raining anymore. It's hard to feel when all you notice the struggle of climbing above the rising water line. Well, the sky is finally open. The rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Well, hold tight to your umbrella, darling. I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. If you could see what I see, you'll be blinded by the colors, orange, red, and green, and at least a million others. So tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. Well, the sky is finally open. The rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Well, hold tight to your umbrella, darling. I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Ooh, oh, oh, yeah. So tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. Everything is all right now. Well, the sky is finally open. The rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Hold tight to your umbrella, darling. I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Ooh, oh, it'll all be all right.
Laura Berman, Rob Lowe. I'd love to start crying before I deliver my sermon. Good morning. We're wrapping up our Foundation February this month, and I want to express my personal gratitude to all of our Nautilus members and to invite folks to a great workshop on aging well that's going on after services today here in person. I'm also just so excited about classes in March at Mile High Church. We have some just dynamic, relevant, fresh offerings for you. Reverend Zamira is teaching an interfaith class on Celtic spirituality. Reverend Jackie is teaching a class called Rendezvous with God. Sounds spicy. And it's about deepening your connection with God through spiritual practice. And then we're doing something really unorthodox for us here at Mile High Church. We're bringing in a retired DU professor named Arthur Jones, who's teaching a class based on his book called Wade in the Water. And it's about the spirituals. And February is Black History Month. And so much of Black history is at the heart of American history. And here we have people from Africa brought to the United States and denied freedom, who also had the religion of Christianity thrust upon them, and what they did, not allowed to read or to write, is they reformed Christianity through song. And they created these beautiful songs and spirituals that can reflect back to all of us the deepest and most profound mystical truths. And as we know, these spirituals gave birth to the soul of America. And they would grow into gospel music and to soul music and to country music and to the religion of my upbringing, rock and roll. And so I invite you to take more than one of these classes. I'm very proud that we have them here at Mile High. So I'm getting ready on a Saturday for church the next day, a few weeks ago. And part of that process is pulling out the suit and ironing it. And I notice it has a couple tears and a couple frays on it. So I say to myself, Josh, you can't go on stage looking like that. And I'm going to be embarrassed if I'm the only one, but do you ever have that experience where you see something flawed around you? Stain on your shirt, a mess in the kitchen, a problem at work, and it triggers in you this desire to cover up and hide all of your inner flaws. Anyone ever get that? I've got to push down this mess within me, man. And so that's what that experience triggers for me. I've got to hide my flaws, or people will see the real me. And I pause and think to myself, Josh, there could be another way of going about this. What if instead of trying to hide my flaws, I embraced my flaws and admitted my flaws? I've got a little friend here. And admitted my flaws, and perhaps by doing so, I might allow you to see the real me, and perhaps inspire you to see the real you and accept your flaws as well. So I sat down and I wrote a little bit about it, and I know that's what you were hoping for when you got here this morning. I hope Reverend Josh reads to us a personal poem. Here's what I wrote. I have these little flaws I don't want you to see. A stain on my shirt, a tear in my suit. A moment where I became more frustrated than I needed to be. Where my thoughts veered from nice to critical, to fraudulence, not authenticity. And yet if I try to hide these flaws from you, I won't just fail to be me. I refuse to let you see just who is really me. For perhaps if you peered into all my little flaws, you might see something about me that in this moment, because of those flaws, I cannot see. And this seeing could lead to being seen as a whole and actually help me accept myself and maybe even help you do the same. God bless all these little flaws. God bless all these little flaws. They're flaws in me, but they're Spirit's beauty in me as well. One of the most important understandings any of us can have for courageous, authentic, spiritual living is a not talked enough concept enough. And it's self-acceptance. Self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is the foundation for all feeling. For all feeling. Maybe you get like me sometimes, and I wonder, is my problem that I'm angry, or is my problem that I am so resistant to my anger? Is my problem my fear, or that I react to it with incredible panic and procrastination? Is my problem my grief, or my avoidance of my grief? Self-acceptance is the foundation for spiritual practice and connection. Each and every one of us, as far as I'm concerned, only has one sacrament for their entire life, and it's you, yourself. You're the only being in which you can experience God, which you can experience life, which you can experience the beauty of who you are. You're it. You're all you have. So it interests me sometimes beginning a class, and we're all going to go into meditation, and I do this too. We all assume what we think should be the holy position. Mudras out, spine straight, feet flat on ground. God forbid you cross your legs and you won't be connected to the earth. And there's nothing wrong with having a great spiritual posture. But sometimes it's as if I think I have to be someone I'm not to somehow become who I think I'm supposed to be. Forget that. What is the holy position? The one that's most comfortable for you. The one in which you accept yourself as you are. That is the only way to allow the Spirit to find you and reveal itself to you. Self-acceptance is the very foundation for experiencing the love of God, for allowing the beloved to be born and birthed and cultivated in your heart. Without self-acceptance, you can't feel it. Doesn't mean it's not there, but you won't experience it. Henry Nouwen, the great Catholic teacher, said that the greatest temptation in life isn't money, isn't sex, it isn't greed, it's self-rejection. Self-rejection. He shares, could it be that beneath all the lures of greed, lust, and success rests a greater fear of never being enough or not being lovable? And he goes on, self-rejection is the greatest enemy of the spiritual life because it contradicts that sacred voice that calls us God's beloved. Being the beloved expresses the core truth of our existence. I invite you to put your hand over your heart and to say with me, even if you don't mean it, I accept myself as I am. I accept myself as I am. Okay, I'm going to calm down about it a little bit. I accept myself as I am. If you do that consistently, the following two things will happen. 1, balance. 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 Balance is not the state of harmonic equilibrium. It's the ability to ascertain and accept yourself as you are in this moment. I'm happy. I'm aching. I'm afraid. I'm hurting, I'm excited, I'm inspired, I'm apathetic, I'm open. It doesn't matter how you are, but accept yourself as you are. Even when you don't know where you're going in your life, how the heck are you ever going to get there if you can't locate where you are right here and right now? Accept yourself and you will come into balance. It's a great Canadian singer-songwriter by the name of Ron Sexsmith. If you're needing some good tunes, look him up. And he wrote a great song over 20 years ago now called Never Been Done. And it's about a little boy who grows up, the gleam of his father's eye. And his father says things to him like, when you grow up, you're going to do what's never been done. And he does grow up, and he begins to follow a path that was different than the one his father wanted for him. So he begins to share that he feels that in his father's eyes that he's always been disappointed. And the song comes to a close when he says that I met a girl with auburn hair and a heart as big as the sun. And I said, if you accept me as I am, you will do what's never been done. If you accept me as I am, you will do what's never been done. Do what's never been done. Accept yourself wholly and completely as you are, and the highest and best will reveal itself to, through, and as you. Self-acceptance will lead to balance, and it will lead to what the great Carl Rogers said. He said, the curious paradox is that when I accept myself as I am, then I can change. It's not until I accept myself as I am that I can change. In talking about self-acceptance today, I want you to know that I'm not talking about participation trophy spirituality. Honey, I realize that I leave the kitchen a mess, but I want you to know that I accept myself the way I am. Staff, I know I refuse and reject any idea that you come up with for our business, and I want you to know that I realize I do that and have accepted myself as I am. No. When we notice the flaw, then we can begin to change it. Honey, I know I leave those dirty dishes in the sink, and I realize that it comes from this part of me unconsciously that knows and wants to be taken care of and loved and knows that you'll do it for me. And now, as I'm aware of that, I'm going to be more honest and open in articulating my need of love and caring for you and start washing my dishes. Staff, I realize I reject your ideas because I associate my own success with the success of this business, and I'm going to move to a point of realizing that this business will only be successful if it's reflective of all of our best efforts. When I accept myself as I am, then I can change. If I hide my flaws, they will reveal themselves. If I admit my flaws, they become a vehicle for my wholeness and my healing. One more time. If I try to hide my flaws, I will reveal them. If I admit and become aware of my flaws, they will become the vehicle for my wholeness and my healing. Question: what do you consider your greatest strength in life, your greatest skill, your greatest attribute? And what do you consider your greatest weakness? For me, my greatest strength, especially in ministry, has always been my listening. I pride myself on being a good listener, one-on-one to the collective wisdom of this congregation and creating a sermon, to listening to the voice of my own vocation, my own intuition, I pride myself on being a good listener. My greatest weakness, being totally afraid of slightly disappointing or upsetting anyone. Oh, I'm the only one, huh? Every once in a while, I say, Josh, you know, you can't please everybody. And immediately Amy goes, watch me. And this is a flaw for me because it can cause me sometimes to resist courageous conversations, to confront issues in my life, to speak up my own voice of something that's affecting me. So it can become a real challenge. How about for you? What's your strength? Anybody? Resilience. Bam. Nice. Adaptability. Compassion. Eloquence. Suave. Nice. Kindness. Okay. Integrity. Communication. Curiosity. What about your greatest weakness? Judgmental. Good awareness. Doubt. Perfectionism. Fear. Question 2. Does your strength ever manifest itself as weakness? And does your weakness ever manifest itself as strength? Sometimes I think I'm such a good listener that I don't listen. I take for granted the skill set and think I've heard what you've really told me or wanted me to know and missed it completely. Even though I am a people pleaser, deep down I love you incredibly. And it is such an honor of my life to create an environment of encouragement, witnessing, and upliftment that has become the key to my joy in the ministry and to becoming and accepting myself. Isn't it interesting how our strength can hold us back and how our wound can become the vessel of our wholeness and our healing? Here's my conclusion. That thing that you are best at is also the area in which you need most to grow. That strength, keep strengthening it. Keep practicing it. Keep growing it. That is your path to meaningful service and experience in this world. Your weakness is not something you need to fix. It's not something you need to hide. It's something that you are called to increase your awareness of, and when you do and admit it and share it with others, it will become the vehicle for your wholeness and your healing. Something else Carl Rogers said, he said, that part of you in which you are most afraid to share with others is that very thing that if you shared it would resonate the most. When we increase that awareness of our flaws, our issues, our problems, we begin to possess them instead of allowing them to possess us. I was listening to a radio program. It was an old one. It was recorded just after the great Swiss psychologist Carl Jung had passed away. And it was with the great beatnik philosopher Alan Watts. And Watts shared that what made Carl Jung so great is that he was conscious of what his evil was. He didn't mean the devil, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers evil. He meant that he was aware of his own issues. He was aware of his own neuroses. He was so aware of his own challenges that it made him a wonderful teacher and writer and psychologist. And it helped me to conclude that there are two types of people in this world. There are those of us who are aware of our issues, and there are those of us who are not. Those of us and those people who are aware of their issues, those are the healthy people. Those who are not aware of their issues, watch out. Right? I am not here to be your learning experience. See, when we increase that awareness, our so-called flaws become our strength, and they help us to grow and to deepen. The great film director John Waters uses the term, I am a healthy neurotic. I love that. I'm going to quote him just because I know he would get a kick of being quoted in church. He said, psychiatry taught me that you have to come up with your own version of neurotic happiness. I'm never going to be a normal person. If you know John Waters, that makes you smile. No one changes. No one gets better. Once you make friends with your neuroses, you can plan a life. And I would argue against that to say, once you befriend your flaws, once you befriend your own wound, don't have to be thankful for what put it there, but now it's yours. When you accept your own flaws, they become that vehicle not only for your healing, but for your uniqueness. The very wound becomes the very thing that lets the healing in. The wound becomes the light that gives your awareness what you need to live as a fully integrated and inspired being. When we try to stuff the flaws, hide from them, avoid them, we live inauthentically, and we find ourselves living in superficial life filled with distraction, stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. Another great director, the great David Lynch, God bless his soul, he called it the suffocating rubber clown suit of negativity. We don't care for ourselves. We don't listen. We start blaming the outside for what's going on when it's really going on in here. And we walk around like we're wearing a suffocating rubber clown suit of negativity. Lynch shares, speaking of spiritual practice, he says, when I started meditating, I was filled with anxieties and fears. I felt a sense of depression and anger. I call that depression and anger the suffocating rubber clown suit of negativity. It's suffocating and the rubber stinks. But once you start meditating and diving within, the clown suit starts to dissolve. You finally realize how putrid was the stink when it starts to go. Then, when it dissolves, you have freedom. There may be parts of yourself you don't like. There may be parts of yourself that you don't find very beautiful. But when you accept yourself wholly, completely, and entirely, the beauty that is truly you begins to shine through. Accept yourself wholly and completely and allow yourself to be renewed. Get the rubber clown suit off. The truth is, that rubber clown suit of negativity, sometimes we put it on ourselves and sometimes other people try to put it on us. One of the things in our teaching that we must resist the most is any consciousness in our families, in our relationships, in our communities, in our country that would tell you that there is something flawed about who you are, when the truth is that is the very vessel of your beauty and of your uniqueness. We have to get out of rejecting people and seeing their flaw. Oh, this person over there, they're too woke. This person over there, a little too MAGA-y for me. This person over here, there's something wrong with their gender identification. Whatever it is, oneness teaches us that who each of us are is beautiful and unique. And at the level of ideas, we can enjoy trying to change each other's minds and talk about this and that. But ultimately, fundamentally, we hold the beauty and the dignity of all people. And it's so hard for so many people when all of this noise is going on to tell them that they don't have the right to exist or be good or be human. I was so touched a few weeks ago by one of our students in practitioner studies, a wonderful member here named Brennan Flood, who wrote a wonderful poem that at least I've entitled Love Louder. And I'm so grateful for Brennan for waking up early this morning because I want to be able to get through the poem, and I would like them to share it with you today. So let's hear it for Brennan Flood.
When injustice from the house on the hill is loud, is your home a place that loves louder? When the world is cluttered with ignorance, a cacophony of dissonance, they know not what they do. Forgiveness. For our faith in the highest truth is stronger. Can the hurting bring their woundedness, made sick by a collective resonance based in limitedness? Will they feel God in your presence and experience Spirit in your actions as you live your love louder? I believe in your right to hate us and the freedom of your consciousness. And it's not too late to join us as we lay down our defensiveness and diffuse the illusion of separateness. I hear the fear in your anger. For you are not my enemy. The circle of my heart is wider. Come meet me in the middle, my friend, for there is no end to a world where love wins. There is no end, for there is only oneness, only one us. When pain in the world is loud, is your heart a place that loves louder?
Thank you, Brennan, a true spiritual practitioner. Where in your life are you being called to love louder? Not to hide away, not to turn your head, not to sink and slip out of the back door of your own consciousness, but to love louder with that truth of who you are. So in conclusion today, you don't have to love all of your little flaws, but become so aware of them that they help you to embrace your authenticity and uniqueness. Identify that which you are best at and get even better at it. And allow others in to realize that your flaws are not something to hide, but a vehicle for your own blessing and for the blessing of others as well. As we move into prayer, or reading from Ernest Holmes to share, I invite any of our practitioner prayer partners to stand and hold consciousness. These folks are available for prayer after service. Holmes shares, we are surrounded by an infinite possibility. It is goodness, life, law, and reason. In expressing itself through us, it becomes more fully conscious of its own being. Therefore, it wishes to express through us. As it passes into expression through us only as we consciously allow it to do so. Therefore, we should have faith in it and its desire and its ability to do for us all that we shall ever need to have done. Since it must pass through our consciousness to operate for us, we must be conscious that it is doing so. And so we know and affirm, and I affirm for anyone who chooses to align their voice with my prayerful voice right now, there is nothing in me that is not for me. I bring back into my wholeness any part of myself that I may have rejected or allowed someone to cause me to disown within myself. I bring all of my strengths and all of my flaws together to become the best who I am right here and right now, and I am transparent to the divine good within me. There is a divine power, a divine truth seated in the heart of each and every one of us. And through this power of self-acceptance, I embody and allow to be demonstrated my wholeness, my healing, my well-being. I embrace the richness of my life and the beauty of my ongoing becoming, at one with the divine within me, embracing all of the parts of my psyche, my body, my relationships. And I allow it to sing of that mosaic of divine peace, of divine harmony, and of the one soul that I know finds itself with great pleasure in you and in me, right here and right now. And so it is.
So tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. Everything is all right now. Well, the sky is finally open. Oh, the rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Hold tight to your umbrella, darling. I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. There's always been a rainbow hanging over your head.
Laura Berman, such a gift. Appreciation again to Brendan Flood. Thank you so much for being a part of the service today. We're moving into our time of offering, but before we do, we're wrapping up our Foundation February, and we have a video message from some guy you may have heard of named Roger Teal.
Hello, Mile Highers. Dr. Roger here. One of the great joys of this new phase of my life called Rewirement is to serve as chair of the Mile High Church Foundation, an activity that I've been very passionate about for a long, long time. The foundation was begun in the early 80s and has been nurtured and developed over the many decades to create an endowment, a long-term financial foundation for Mile High Church, ensuring its viability for generations to come. Very, very important work. And I want to thank all of you who have already decided to be a part of the Nautilus Society within the foundation. Now, the Nautilus Society is simply those who've designated a portion of their estate to go to Mile High Church. And we so honor this. Your amounts are of your own choosing. It's just that you've included us. And this is building and growing for us. So all during February, we're focusing on this vital activity. I invite you to stop out in the lobby, visit the table, where very dedicated board members of the foundation can answer any questions. If you're already a Nautilus Society member, you can get updates, and there'll be some special activities as well. But just lift this up into your heart and ask, is this the year that I had the richness and the beauty of a sense that I'm a part of the ongoingness of this wonderful, wonderful experience called Mile High Church. So I bless you in this, and I know that it will return to you in great satisfaction and multiplied blessings.
One of my key jobs here at Mile High Church is to try and intuitively sense whenever Dr. Roger is bored in any way so that we can get him involved in some work here at Mile High. So grateful to Dr. Roger and our foundation board. Thank you for making Mile High Church an abundant and prosperous church. It is an abundant and prosperous church because you are abundant and prosperous and choose to give it. And you know that giving to Mile High Church helps increase the abundance and prosperity in your own life. So thank you so much. Let us take a moment not just to bless the prosperity of Mile High, but our own prosperity and the prosperity of everyone around us as we say our offering affirmation together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
a good thing, yeah. And one by one, we came undone, like we dimmed the sun. Rattle the walls, lean in and fall, count to 10, and try again.
And Laura Berman. We love having you here on Sunday. Thank you. If you are new to Mile High Church or have just started coming here, we have a welcome center in the middle of our lobby, and I will be there after the service. We have lots of great information of all the things going on and happening here at Mile High Church. And give yourself the gift of coming down for an affirmative prayer after the service. Our amazing practitioners are down here in front.
Mark, you look like you are aging well.
Thank you. I feel like I'm aging well. You too, Josh. Thank you. On that matter, the Mile High Church Foundation, we're thrilled today as the culmination event of Foundation February to be hosting an Aging Wisely and Well workshop in the Vote, 11:30 to 12:30. And we have an all-star expert panel of Mile Highers, including Dr. Patty, who'll be talking about spiritual wellness, Peter McMillan talking about financial wellness, Sue Rowan-Camp and Bob Rocker bringing practical resources and tips, and our very own Barb Granitza bringing the physical wellness. So I sure hope you'll join us for this, and also for those of you that are helping loved ones and people you care about through the aging process, there'll be time to ask questions and have resources available. So with that, as we accept the humanity of our aging process, I'll give it back.
Thank you, Mark. And what a wonderful example of when we need something here at Mile High Church, the incredible intelligence in our own community that we can draw from. That's going to be a great event today. Thank you. Midweek renewal, Wednesday at 6:40 in the boat. And this upcoming Saturday, it's only a love donation. We have quarterly Sacred Saturdays. It's a time of stillness, silence, reflection, and prayer with Reverend Jackie. It lasts much of the day, and it's awesome. So we invite you to that as well. With that, if you'd like to stand, we'll say a benediction before we sing the peace song. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, my body, and all that I do. I give thanks for it, and I accept it just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.